Tuttle here for Ferguson Roof Systems. For 43 years, Ferguson Roof Systems has been protecting Oklahoma's homes and businesses with quality roofing services. Their goal was to be the most honest and dependable roofing company in the state, all while providing free services such as lifetime labor warranty and annual inspections. Well, mission accomplished with thousands of client testimonials, an A+ Better Business Bureau rating, and a 5-star rating on Google. Look, the weather gives you enough to worry about, so why worry about who to trust with your roof? Call Ferguson Roof Systems today or find out more at fergusonroofsystems.com.
All right. Hey, everybody. Meteorologist Tuttle here with you. It is time to check in for our evening update on the hurricane situation. So thanks for joining me. We're going to talk about what's going on with Delta and what you can expect on location, landfall, all that kind of stuff, what it's up to. So thanks for checking in. Curtis is in for hurricane season. Mimi's here. Steve's here. He's wanting some snow already. Steve, you're crazy. You guys on YouTube are checking in. I see TV Van Harley. Hey. Jim from Mustang is always on time and punctual. Way to go, Jim. And my patrons, Wes, I see you out there. Some of your comments are pretty funny. Larry, you're hilarious. No, I'm actually trying to diet down a little bit. I'm trying to maintain, man. Just, I don't know. I like the dieted down look. It's just hard work. So I kind of go back and forth. But anyway, Diana's in the house with 50 stars. Bam! I mean, just right on it. Thanks, Diana. Awesome. So if you want to play the stars game, Diana just kicked it off. You can hit the little stars icons at the bottom of your screen, right next to you. Leave a comment, and you can shoot a few my way if you like. I always appreciate them. And we've done this quite a few times here when I've gone live, and you guys can really get into it every now and then. There'll be some bidding wars, which is always entertaining. All right, so let's see. Without further ado, Brandy says we're supposed to be there Thursday. Oh, listen, I don't know what's going to happen with that area. We're going to see what happens tomorrow once the dust settles, because it's not looking good, right? All right, let's get you on with what you came here for. Capiche? Capiche. Do they still use capiche here in these days? All right, here we go. So here is the latest at Delta. So Delta is this big bad hurricane. It is a Category 4 hurricane. Big cloud cover from it. It's a large storm, and the track of it, no eye is, the eye's been covered up by the cloud cover, but there is an eye in there. Now this storm will continue to work its way to the west because it's kind of gone through an eye wall recycling process, which is normal when these things blow up so big. It's going to work its way up here toward this little island right here. You know what that is? That's Cozumel. And then just north there is Cancun. It's probably going to split the needle right in between if you want to get technical, as it looks right now. It's been moving a little bit more west with time, but it's bad news. It's going to be a direct hit. And I'm not sure how long it's going to take to recover down there. I know they've evacuated that region because of it. So if you're not familiar with that territory, here's Cozumel right here where the little arrow is. And Cancun is right up here. So they're not that far away. Puerto Morales. So again, this is the relaxation haven row here for us Americans. So those are all your resorts. And it's going to, again, kind of hit this whole area. Remember, hurricane is not one point. It's a very large storm. So you get tornadoes with this. You get flooding rains. You get storm surge. All that kind of stuff. So it's just going to be interesting to see how well they can tolerate that. They build that area, for hurricanes themselves, but sheesh, not these big ones. All right, so here's a look at the temperatures out here across the Gulf, on down into the Caribbean, and again, explosive temperature water of 30 to 31 degrees Celsius where the storm kicked off, and it's going to kind of head still into that warm area. Then once it gets over land, it'll weaken a little bit, but then quickly back out to sea. And these waters are still warm too, but they're not as warm, so there will be some re-strengthening, but not a whole lot. And then as it works its way to the north toward Louisiana, you can see the temperatures out here in the upper 20s. Still warm, by the way. I mean, we're only talking about 2 to 3 degrees. It doesn't seem like a lot. In the hurricane world, though, that is a lot. Every few degrees matters. Leslie's in the house with 50 stars. Thank you, Leslie. You're so sweet. Appreciate you. So let's take a look at how things are going to progress. First off, the National Hurricane Center has sent out an update here as of the 8 o'clock hour for Let's see, winds of 145 miles per hour currently. So again, a Category 4 storm, pressure down to 956 millibars. Leslie, you've done it twice. I like it. Let's see. So what we're going to do here is key messages for Hurricane Delta. Of course, life-threatening storm surge is expected for the Yucatan Peninsula, the northern sections of it. Of course, people have evacuated. Heavy rainfall around the Cayman Islands, western Cuba, northern Yucatan throughout the midweek, yada, yada, yada. And then, of course, the eyes will turn in toward the southern Gulf Coast here for us. And let's see. So let's move on. Here is the latest track from the National Hurricane Center. And they do have it, of course, going right through the northern Yucatan Peninsula and then back in here into the Gulf. Now, an M stands for major hurricane, by the way. They usually put an H or an S, S for tropical storm, H for hurricane. But when it's a major hurricane, they mark it with an M. So, again, that's from tonight through landfall and then back out in the sea for Thursday. And then Friday, making land once again into Louisiana. And we're going to talk about where in Louisiana and probabilities for that here too. So here's a look at the computer model forecast. This is the hurricane model. And this takes us on, and good grief. Okay, Amber Alert. Let's see. Bethany's in the house for 250 stars. Thank you, Amberly. You are awesome. So here's a look at the hurricane here for tonight. This is around midnight as we head into tomorrow. Actually, about 3 o'clock in the morning, it'll already be making its way pretty much close to landfall at that point, the eye wall. And you can see we're splitting the needle here, like I mentioned. So we're looking at Cancun, again, right about here, and Cozumel right about here. So it's right in between, but regardless, it's gonna be a mess. Now, once it gets out of there, it's gonna be head over the land, so it will weaken a little bit. Then it gets back out over open water, and it starts to strengthen again. Now, it's going to strengthen at a slower pace. It won't be so rapid like it was before. It'll struggle to regain some of its strength. And again, Category 4 now, but it'll likely be a Category 3 into the Gulf of Mexico and then into the landfall for the U.S. So before I show you where that's going to be according to the hurricane model, let's take a look at why and how it's going to happen. So we have a upper level ridge of high pressure out here across Florida. This is in the upper levels of the atmosphere. This is the jet stream pattern. We have a area of low pressure, really lower heights developing here across Oklahoma and western Texas. And so what happens is, we talked about last night, is you get a flow between the two. So that's going to guide this hurricane to the north-northeast, which is why the odds are it's going to be hitting Louisiana and staying away from the central Texas coastline and staying away from Florida, Mississippi. Now, as we head into, let's tell you what, let's go to the hurricane model first. So the hurricane model follows that idea, and it takes landfall, unfortunately, on the kind of the western side of the central Louisiana coast, so actually not too far from the last hurricane they had to deal with. Kind of in the same generalized area, and that's bad news. That's 2 hits. If we look at the model spaghetti plot, so to speak, this is going to be from the American model. The American model ensemble run has a lot of members, of course, east and west, but the center line here in the black, again, kind of favors where that hurricane model is. So right now they're lockstep and barrel. And they were this way last night as well. It hasn't been a big surprise so far in the model data and how this hurricane has gone. It's jogged a little west of its initial starting phase, but the tracks and the model data seems to kind of stay consistent. Now, as we head into the other model, just all of you, put them all on a map just to see how they do. Remember yesterday they were clustered here over the eastern sides of Louisiana. I told you to ignore that they're going to go west. And look at this, they clustered all back to the west. So these models aren't designed for this type of deal. So they're not going to be as good as these other couple models that we're looking at, but kind of show you that did occur. And if we look at the European model, its ensemble run from this afternoon, again, takes over the northern Yucatan. Now, here's the interesting thing with the European. And the European kind of bit me a little bit last time when it went too far west toward southeast Texas. Well, this time around it's doing the same thing. It keeps nudging west. Now, it was the first model to do this, and all the other models caught up with it. So it has set the trend. Now, it may be going too far. In this particular case, if you were to really try to split the difference and draw the line, it would be southwest corner of Louisiana. So it's not too far west from the others, but it's nudged a little bit more west. So again, that puts that favorite area where the last hurricane hit, almost identical spot. So southwest Louisiana, you need to keep your guard up all the way through the central Louisiana coastline. That seems to be the favor spot right now. Danita's in the house with 100 stars. Thank you, thank you. New star senders, Bethany, Leslie, Susan. So thanks, Facebook, for letting me know. Appreciate it. Now, if we head into, let's see, this guy here. We talked about the storm strengthening a little bit once it gets back out over land. Until then, so we've got a Category 4 storms. These are kind of the models that forecast hurricane intensity. They keep it mostly at a Category 4 course now. Some of them try to briefly hit Category 5 before landfall, briefly, but I don't think it's going to make it. However, once of course it hits land, it drops it down to Category 3 strength. Now, as the bottom of the scale is the forecast hour, 36 hour, 48 hour, 60 hour, 72 hour. You can see the majority of the models have it at a Category 3. A couple of them, though, never really have it weakening beyond the Category 4. So it's going to be interesting to see how well they do on the category strength intensity as it makes landfall in the U.S. My guess is it's going to be a strong Category 3. That's what I went with in my blog. If you may have read that the other day in our live last night. So I'm kind of sticking with that right now. Let's take a look at the threats. So we're going to go to the storm surge and see what the if the Hurricane Center's put anything out yet. They probably don't for Mexico, which apparently they are not, which is interesting. But and they'll do it once it gets closer to the U.S. coastline. They are starting to at least hint at rainfall, and they got 6 to 10 inches of rain down there across the Louisiana coastline. Jim, love the broadcast. We need this on Facebook and get you on TV as well. Jim, you can put me right on your television. This is in 1080p, so just Chromecast it, Mirrorcast it, Smart View, I don't know, it's all kind of Aircast it, you name it. So CT, the concern for Laura, just now starting. I know, lots of damage existing, so it's bad news down there in Louisiana. Okay, so that was the latest with that. Once the Hurricane Center starts putting out some of those flood products, we'll take a look at those. So maybe they'll do that for tomorrow. They didn't do it here for tonight. Now, here in Oklahoma, by the way, if you're wondering, hey, what's our weather going to be like? We're looking at 80s for the next few days here in Oklahoma City. Then we'll get into the 70s next week. So the cold front comes through, knocks us back down to more of my liking. I like the mid-80s, don't get me wrong. It's a little warm, but it's a dry heat, so I can go for that. Overnight lows, though, and mornings, perfect. Tulsa, same kind of idea. You'll be in the 80s here for a while. Lower 60s at night. And then back into the 50s into next week, as again the same cold front moves on through, knocks you back down. Again, not much in the way of rainfall, folks, for Oklahoma. We do have kind of that weak upper low structure for, you know what? I didn't show, let's see, let me show you something real quick. I showed it, but I didn't tell you the time. So in this particular case, the hurricane model, I think I did mention late afternoon Friday. So this particular model does have the hurricane hitting southwest to central Louisiana coastline Friday afternoon, like around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Now that's going to change obviously by a few hours. It could come in a little later. Just depends on what happens down into the southwestern part of the Gulf, down in the Bay of Campeche, when it tries to reorganize and regenerate. All right, so I just want to make sure that was in there for those of you folks wondering about that. And for any of you traveling around this area, if you live east, southeast Louisiana, for example, keep in mind a hurricane is not one point, right? It's a large area, so you could easily have tornadoes, spawning. Now, the favorite area for tornadoes, by the way, will be in this quadrant of the hurricane. All right, you'll still see some over here, and sometimes you get one or two in this vicinity, but it's mostly in this little quadrant, and that extends all the way toward Mississippi. So any rogue storms out here that develop could produce tornadoes as they rotate in around this. So keep a weather app handy, AT's Weather to Go. If you live in this region, you have family in that area, because it'll warn them of those tornadoes before official warnings come out. It'll detect them on radar and then give them a heads up. So I just want to throw that out there as well to make sure I covered that. Got to cover all the bases, you know what I mean? Okay, so that's what I got for you for that. Let me go through, answer a couple of questions. I try to cover it all. And again, we don't have much to talk about here in Oklahoma for our weather. It's again more of a hurricane forecasted event here for us to talk about. Alicia is on YouTube saying, hey, checking in. Hey, girl. I'm going to go to the Twitter Periscope deal. If you guys had any questions, you can shoot them here real quick. I had the deal turned off while I was doing my live. So if you guys on the patron page, let me scan your comments here real quick. Any questions? Larry's wanting diet advice. Larry, man, you need to get my diet guide. It's on my website, AaronTuttleWeather.com. Look, man, it's I give you everything I know in 20 years of doing this. All my scientific research that I just did on the side because I was into it, because that's the kind of guy I am. I research the crap out of everything, and then I put it into practice. And I've had personal trainers, I've had diet coaches, I've had bodybuilding coaches. I mean, I've tried everything just to kind of build an arsenal in my head. And I put it all together for you in a document. Anybody can lose weight stupid fast. I mean, I've got people that have lost 70 pounds in just a couple of months. I mean, that's how fast it can go. So it's just up to you, you know. But anyway, all the tips from the guides on AaronTuttleWeather.com. Just go to the shop store category. Let's see, Jiraiya, have you ever chased a hurricane? No. I just got no interest in that. Reed Timmer, friend of mine, he was on a plane earlier today heading down there to Cancun because he wanted to chase that hurricane. I'm like, more power to you, brother. He's gonna do it till it's his last breath, but that's the way he wants to do it, and I can't hate him for it because you got to do what you love, right? So we'll see some updates from him. There's always gonna be some hurricane chasers. Those guys just live for that kind of stuff. A good friend of mine, Jeff Petrosky, does it, and he's great at it, but my goodness, man, I would not want to do what they do. That is for sure. All right, loading up your comments here real quick. Kenny says, check out Mars. I know some of the planets been pretty crazy here this month. So Brandy was trying to go to that area in Mexico. Gonna have to cancel. So any of you folks that may have plans to head down there for the rest of this month, let's see how tomorrow goes, because it depends again how well they can sustain Category 4 strength, and then how quickly they can get power restored, clean things up, if the beaches are washed out, all that kind of stuff. It's going to be a mess. Let's see. My 3-year-old Graceland says, hi, Aaron. Aw, Jen. Tell Graceland I said hello. Hi, Graceland. Let's see. Carmen can't get a signal to see me tonight. Oh, no. Carmen needs more Wi-Fi. There was a skit on SNL, Saturday Night Live, back in the day when it was funny. I haven't watched it in forever, but Christopher Walken and Will Ferrell had a skit. And he needed more cowbell, and it was hilarious. And I was showing that to Jody the other day. Even the Canadians have watched that skit. They even remember it. Jeremy's heading to play at Carmen on Saturday. Do you think it'd be possible? Yeah, I mean, you can fly down there. Now, whether or not there's anything to enjoy while you're there is going to depend on what happens tomorrow afternoon. You'll see plenty of the shots. Tim, please check on your weight loss. Please touch base on your weight loss. Let me tell you what. Let me do this. All right, so I'm going to load up my website, AaronTuttleWeather.com, right after I go to Google, apparently. Come on, Internet. I need me some Wi-Fi. All right, so if you look over here on the right, it says AT Store. It's just to the east of this button here. And I have it cut off here on the screen, but we'll go over there to AT Store. And you can get this on my weather app too. There's a link there as well. So if you want to get a Tempest weather station, that's on there. I got some stuff on Amazon you can check out. Bonfire, all of my weather gear, like t-shirts like the one I'm wearing here. It's an AT's weather t-shirt. You can get those there. A lot of you guys have done that over the years. And then love handle goes on the back of your phone. If you've got a pet that pees and you need to clean it up and you don't want to spend buku's amounts of money for those gallon jugs that are overpriced at the pet store, what I can give it to you can make for pennies, and it does 10 times better than that stuff. So you can click that out. But anyway, here's the fat loss guide on that one. And if you go through this, I give you a little rundown of what's in it. I give you some examples of who lost some crazy weight on it. And then I even give you a little video that describes a little bit what's in it and give you some of my tips and secrets already that's in the guide, but also I just give it to you on the video about kind of what I do when it comes to food and stuff. So check out that page. It's on my weather site, website, AaronTuttleWeather.com. All right, let's go back to your questions here real quick. So Jim, this storm won't affect us at all. Oklahoma won't see anything out of it. It'll take off to the northeast. Unlike that last one that kind of barely skirted the state. Dana's got family in Cancun now. Oof. Yeah, they probably evacuated. That's what I heard was going on today. Jeremy, same thing. Yep. I would not want to be on that island. How does a hurricane change air traffic? Melody wants to know. They just go around it. They just don't get anywhere near the storm. It's Tim. It's all online. It's just print out. You just go and it's electronic. It's an ebook, so you just print it out, save it to your phone or computer. Jim, way to go! Nice loss. So Dominique, no, it will not affect Oklahoma City. Mina, question: if a Greek alphabet name storm caused enough damage, destruction, is the name retired like the male-female names are done? What's the procedure? Yes, they retire any names that cause catastrophic damage that are in that vicinity. So I don't see why they wouldn't do it for any letter of the alphabet, even if they have to go through different dialects. Name's the name. Do you think we will have a bad winter? Yeah, unfortunately, long-range forecasting is nonsense. I've done it a few times just to give it my best, and I did okay, but I watched a lot of these guys who do it for a living, and it's a crapshoot. Seriously, it's a dartboard game. And in the energy world, all they want is this much better than 50-50. You know, if you can go either way, and they can make a ton of money either way. And so that's why there's an industry for it. And I follow some of the biggest names in the industry, and sometimes they do okay, and other times they fall flat on their face. That's just the way it goes. The weather is so unpredictable long range. Short range, we're getting a lot better, though. A couple of days, piece of cake. 7 days, actually. Not bad. Pretty decent when it comes to trends. Of course, 5 days really good. 10 days, 15 days, trending-wise, you can see a signal, and it's going to be right around, give it a 24-hour window for like a storm or something. And those aren't too bad sometimes. So we're getting there. I think the biggest change for us will be AI. It's artificial intelligence. So we're going to combine that with all the knowledge that we know currently, and then we're going to amp the supercomputer model game field. And once that happens, it's going to explode over the next decade. So that'll be the next vast improvement in weather meteorology. It's a really cool science, exciting to be in for this next generation of output of what we're going to get. So it's pretty cool. There's a lot of research going on. Seems like way more than back when I was in school. So that's neat to see, and I follow all those guys on Twitter just to get a taste of it, because there's so much out there. I can spend all day following all the latest stuff that's coming out. It's nuts. So that's good, though. It's good for the field, and it's good for you. You get to learn or get to benefit out of that. All right, last little quick here, and I'm going to let you guys go. Checking the Jody. AJ Brown, what did I miss? Oh, you missed the whole thing, man. You're late to the party. Jody's on there. Hashtag Team AT. You're so cute. I gotta post this picture of her. I don't have it here on this computer to show, so let me do something. I think I can make it happen. Can I? Yeah, give me a second. Dun, dun, dun. Come on, you can find it. Okay. Let's see. Save. Let's just talk amongst yourself. I'll be right with you. All right. It's convoluted way I got to do this. And I thought about this earlier and then I forgot. I said, oh, I should have done that. But since you asked the question, we're going to do something. Send. Okay. Now I'm going to go pull it up on my email because I had to email it to myself. And it's just, to me, it's just cute and silly. That's all. And who doesn't like cute and silly, right? All right, let's close that. Okay. Okay, here we go. So this is what she sent me. So when I tell you silly, I mean silly. So she had me appear on her TV for YouTube. So her YouTube channel's got me going live. Then she had me on her PC, and she had me down here on her phone. And she's multiple commenting at the same time. So I thought it was hysterical. But anyway, so that kind of gives you an idea how you can watch my broadcast. For I forget, Larry or somebody who said we should get you on TV. There's your way in which you can do it. You can do it all different kinds of ways. But anyway, so I thought that'd be a little fun to show you, just because it's silly. Okay, so I think that was the end of that, and then I've showed you everything else. So I think we'll do this again probably tomorrow. We'll see how Yucatan Peninsula fares and what all happens after that, and then we'll see what the latest trends are for that as far as Louisiana is concerned. Yeah, Jim, she is, but that's to be expected. Jim, late to the party? Oh, come on. Oh, yeah, because the other guy, right? Number one fan. Yes, you are number one fan. No one can take that away from you. All right. Anyway, thanks for all the stars tonight, for all the ladies out there. Appreciate it. So next time we go on live, if you'd like to participate in the stars game, you can just hit the little button down there on the bottom. My boy Steve just texted me, and now I have you on my TV. So Steve just sent me this. This is a bit faster. I could have just done this the last time around. So he just sent me this little text. So Steve Miller's a friend of mine. He just put me up there, probably just because he's goofing around and probably enjoying a nightcap, which is what I should be doing. It's 10 o'clock. Jody, let's go get a nightcap. How's that sound? I'm all for it. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching tonight. We'll talk more about Delta tomorrow. Till then, sleep well. And thanks for watching and supporting me and using my weather app, AT's Weather to Go, and all that kind of stuff. And we'll talk soon. Good night, everybody.